You're listening to Turn On to Tech with Jeff Levy and Bonnie Jane Bentley, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Welcome to the show. We call it Turn On to Tech. I'm Jeff Levy, the digital doctor, with my partner and dear friend,
Bonnie Jane Bentley.
the consumerist.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you're not a techie,
No, I'm not a techie. I am the non-techie.
and you'll ask the questions that people want to hear.
You bet.
Tyler M. Jackson, engineering tonight, and in studio is our special guest, George Mustopoulos. We'll get to you in a bit. Did I pronounce you right?
You did.
Oh, good. And from here, we're all going to the Great Greek.
Sounds great.
Oh. This is not a tech show like you've ever heard. It's consumer-oriented, real-life technology. We have fun. I'm the tech. Bonnie's the non-tech consumer. If you want to write to us, turn on to tech@yahoo.com or at gmail.com. If you want to call, we have a 24/7 hotline. Oh, I like that. Hotline.
Yeah.
Hot dang.
Woo.
Damn. Area code 844-339-5333. Now, here's a treat. If you own or are going to buy a Windows 8 computer, our condolences, right? But if you send an email to turnontotech@yahoo or gmail.com, I'll send you keyboard shortcuts. All the things you can't do without these shortcuts. You look at a Windows 8 screen, it doesn't even tell you how to turn it off. There's nothing there. I've got it all for you. All you have
be
to do
sure
is
to
write
put it
to
in the
us.
subject line that you're requesting the shortcuts.
Right. And don't forget, we have a medical show. It's called Up on Medicine. And it's Fridays at 7 p.m. on Channel 3. But all of our shows...
Channel 3, it's the video channel. They
The
don't call
video
it
channel.
3
Oh, that's
anymore.
an old script.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Okay.
It's all on Channel 3.
And that we're also in our old time spot on just regular audio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Channel 1 and Channel 2. Yeah.
Yes, on at 5 and 7.
The way we do it is, this is still a radio show, but it's video. So you can actually see the faces, feel the
Oh my
energy,
God.
and do all of
I
that.
have to look good.
You always look good. Are you kidding me? Okay, why don't we get started? Should we start with a segment called In the News?
Oh, we're not. I don't get to talk. Well, I'll
Yeah.
talk about DSL later.
Yeah, oh, that's right. We start every show, George, talking about poor Bonnie paying $123.19 a month
Yeah.
with AT&T.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
DSL, George, and landline, and it was so slow you could walk to the internet faster than that.
Oh my gosh.
I thought you'd like that.
I could not believe it when we hooked up the DSL Extreme.
So we got
and I
DSL
just-
Extreme Broadband Fusion, 3+ times quicker, still have a landline, and you asked for seatbelts on your chair.
Oh, just about. I turned it on and wow, it
Yeah,
was like,
it
my gosh,
really
that's fast.
is amazing.
That's great. That's what
It's
we love
come
to
a
hear.
long, long way, and you guys got it. We'll get to you in just a minute. Microsoft is going to launch in about 2 or so weeks a smartwatch. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon about smartwatches. It's going to have health tracking capabilities, including a heart rate monitor, and it'll sync with devices that run the Apple iOS, which is your phone, George, right? And Tyler, and Android and Windows. Now, that's very unusual for Microsoft to make a product that runs on competitors' operating systems. They never do that. They're getting wise to the ways of the world. It'll run 2 days on a single charge, and should be available for the holiday season. Now, the Apple Watch, we thought it would be called the iWatch, but it's going to be called the Apple Watch because Tim Cook, the president of Apple, wants to put his own brand on it. And everything that Steve Jobs did was I. So it's not the iWatch. Anyway, they weren't going to release it till next year, but with this new announcement from Microsoft, that could change in a hurry. Now, we've talked about Sprint and their cell phone plans. They've come out with another stunner, $20 a month for unlimited talk, unlimited text, and a gigabyte of data. That's huge.
That is huge.
Now, a gigabyte of data really isn't a whole lot if you're data-centric or data-heavy.
If you're doing a lot of texting or something like that.
Well, no, if you just call or text or do emails, it should be adequate. It's when you start downloading videos and downloading apps
what
and
about
things,
games and
gaming,
all
things
that?
like that, right? And so that means it's time. We do a tech tip, George, every week. Okay? This week, it's about your browser. A browser is a piece of software that lets you view the internet in color, sound, motion, and graphics. Otherwise, the internet would be paragraph after paragraph of boring text. So what are browsers? Internet Explorer that comes with Windows, right? Mozilla, Firefox, Opera, Chrome from Google, and of course Safari for you Mac people folks. And the thing is that there are these control bars across the top. Bonnie, you've seen them.
Yeah.
It shows you the site that you're logged into, and it gives you, they're called toolbars. If you press and release the F11 key, they all go away, which means your screen is now the internet, the whole page. If you need the toolbars back, press the F11 key again, and they show up.
It's amazing.
And it works in Safari for Windows.
It does.
Yeah, you could try it on yours. You brought your Apple with you.
I did.
I brought a pineapple. What can I say? So now it's time to reveal who our guest is.
Oh, okay.
Right, and you're going to do the introduction, would you please?
No, I'm not.
No?
I-
Sure you can.
I will. Okay. George, but I can't say his name like you can.
Just call him George.
Just call me George. Just
Mustopheles.
Don't call me late for dinner.
Mustopheles.
Phidippides.
Okay, so George is currently the Chief Operating Officer at Econo? Is Econo?
Icano.
Icono. Yeah, Icono.
Econo? Okay, communications, and holds the key management roles in both of their strategic business units, DSL Extreme and Verticore.
Correct.
We'll have to find out what about Verticore.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We will.
Okay, now you joined Icono in March of 2006 as part of an acquisition of DSL Extreme. Now, he helped grow to be the largest independent internet service provider based in California. That's amazing.
It's good stuff.
Wow. And both AT&T and Verizon's second largest wholesale DSL provider. I didn't know that.
That's huge,
okay.
George.
He's currently the Chief Operating Officer and lead. And leads, that's why I'm getting confused, and leads an 80-person operation in Los Angeles with offices in Salt Lake City, Seattle, and Toronto. Great.
Yeah, you're global.
You can continue.
Okay, I'll do that. In December 2009, George assisted in Icono's acquisition of Verticore and joined the Verticore executive management team as Vice President of Cloud Services. We want to hear about that. We'll get to that. George earned a Bachelor of Science in Commerce from is it Levy?
Yep, Levy.
Like people mispronounce my last name?
Yep, Levy School of Business.
At Santa Clara University with an emphasis on operations and management information system. You come well recommended, George.
I do.
George and I met, Bonnie, back in the days when I was on KFI.
That was quite a long time ago. You helped build the DSL Extreme business to what it is today.
I appreciate that. You didn't have to say it, but thank you.
Yeah, you were an integral part of getting the word out there, and
we
guiding us in
had a
direction.
very large audience that trusted me, and I believed in your product as I still do. And so let's get right down to it. DSL, the letters stand for Digital Subscriber Line. What is that? What does it mean?
Yeah, originally stood for Digital Subscriber Loop.
Loop.
And so it is line today, but it was originally Digital Subscriber Loop. And it's the technology that allows digital data to transfer over the local phone lines. So it's taking the local phone lines from the phone companies, be it AT&T or Verizon, the two major ones, and using their copper lines that are already out there and been out there for many years, and allowing digital data to transfer over the top of that.
Before we had DSL, Bonnie, we used a device called a modem.
It was a dial-up modem.
Dial-up modem. And the problem, among other things, it was that once you got on the modem, your phone was busy. If somebody called you, they got a busy signal, you couldn't call out.
Yep.
Modem stood for modulate, demodulate, which in English means it takes an analog signal, turns it into digital, and then reverses it at the other end.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you remember 56K, when people had 56K modems, that was great. People loved it, but
We didn't know.
we didn't know. Now we're running in some instances at gigabit speed.
Yeah, it's quite a difference. All right, so the reason the phones weren't busy is because it used a part of the copper wires that weren't involved in the phone.
Correct. It uses DSL uses a different frequency, which allows your phone to continue to operate and use your phone as normal, and it uses a higher frequency to run that digital data over. It makes a connection between a modem, it happens to be a DSL modem or a gateway that sits inside your home or your business, and a piece of equipment in the central office on the other end of that line that allows the two to communicate and get you on the internet effectively.
Yeah, and it used to be, well, I'll go there in a minute. What is naked DSL?
Naked DSL.
Yeah. Hallelujah. We're going to have a party.
It's that extra special DSL. Naked DSL or dry loop or standalone DSL is commonly referred to as well, is the ability to have DSL service without the need for an underlying phone line. So with some DSL services, you need to have an underlying phone line or a local phone line to be able to get the service. A naked DSL connection is without that need for that underlying phone line, which is really popular today because a lot of people have dropped their local home phones. They don't need them anymore. People are connected to their iPhones or cell phones, and you don't need to be paying as you were, Bonnie. $120 a month, and part of that was your local phone. So it allows you to save on that.
Well, what I love about DSL, though, is that DSL Extreme is that I still have a landline.
Yes, absolutely. We've got multiple products. One of them happens to be our Fusion broadband product.
That's the one.
And
boy.
that one is a bundle of a traditional landline. So we'll give you a traditional landline bundled with high-speed internet up to 20 megs. So the highest the fastest you can get, the fastest your line will support. And those two are bundled together, and we sell them as one package starting at $34.95 a month.
Which is insane. When she's paying 123
Oh,
and you're
it's
doing
huge,
34,
huge,
are you kidding?
Huge. Yeah, and trying to get a 91-year-old father used to use cell phones when he wants to use his regular old phone.
Not
It's
gonna
not going to
happen.
work.
Some people love to have a traditional phone line in their house. It helps if you want, 911 is more reliable.
That was important for him.
So some of our consumers that have children, want to have that, or some that have elderly that may need to call 911.
There you go.
That it's an absolute great option. Fusion is.
So I installed the kit for Bonnie, but what about the average homeowner who's not a tech? How easy is the install?
The install, we used to say, standard DSL line or Fusion line is as easy as installing an answering machine. And I think you probably coined that term, Jeff, many years ago.
Actually, I did.
I think you did. And it's very easy. Most DSL services can be installed as a standard self-install. You plug in the modem to the phone line, you plug in a few filters to your phone, you're up and running.
Run the software and you go.
You got it.
Yeah, it's very simple and it's reliable.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard complaints with cable internet. It goes down.
DSL or the technology that we utilize today, and we'll talk a little bit about TrueStream in a second here. It's a dedicated line. The technology that's used in cable broadband, though can be adequate as well. It's shared technology, so the bandwidth is shared at a node in your general neighborhood.
And as more people get on, they need to add more nodes, which costs them money, and they're not happy to do that.
It potentially can slow down your connection. So they may sell you a 10 megabit connection or a 20, and you may not get that at
You'd be
certain
lucky to
peak
get
times.
4. Yeah.
So,
I noticed that on evenings and weekends, the cable stuff gets really slow. How about that? How does that happen?
too many people online.
Yeah, too many people online. So we talked about broadband fusion. What is this new product called TrueStream?
TrueStream is our.
Where do you hear this?
We launched this about 3 weeks ago, and I've been telling you about it for a while, Jeff, and I'm really excited about it. It's the next generation of products. So a traditional DSL line, went up to about 6 megabits per second. A Fusion line had a potential of going up to 20. This goes up to 75. And it does not need an underlying phone line. So it's like naked DSL, where you don't have to have an underlying phone line. So those folks that didn't want that phone service, absolutely you could. You don't need that. It comes with the difference is between a traditional DSL line or even a Fusion line is this service uses digital fiber technology. So it's either fiber all the way to the home or more commonly fiber out to a node in your neighborhood, and then the copper lines from there, which brings the connection much closer to your house and allows for much faster speeds. So it's very reliable and just this kind of next generation product that we're really excited about.
What does it cost per month?
We have packages starting at $17.95 a month. And I would say the average consumer probably wants a package that's somewhere between about $25 and $35 a month.
Oh my gosh, how can you offer these things for so much less than other people?
Yeah, how can you do that?
We've built a business, and Jeff, you've been with us. We started in '99. We build our business around customer service and getting a base of customers that's really happy about our products. We have some customers that have been with us since the beginning. The average life of our customer is a little over 5 years,
which is a long time in that business.
It's a long time in the business, and really the way we can do that. People want today the fastest possible speed they can get for the cost that they can afford, and a company that when they have a problem is going to be there and support them, and that's what we do. And we can keep,
you always did.
We can keep costs down by having a base of customers that really loves us and is very loyal to us. And they refer their friends, and over 50% of our.
Well, I've certainly referred a lot of people.
Absolutely,
about half of your people.
About half of our customers come to us via word of mouth, and the other half probably came from you, Jeff.
Well, thank you, thank you. Is it possible to upgrade from Broadband Fusion to TrueStream?
Absolutely. The beauty of TrueStream, and you mentioned self-installation, which is definitely possible. The beauty of TrueStream is it comes with a free professional installation. So we will send a technician out to your location. They will install the line for you. They'll make sure that it's up and running and working optimally. It comes with a wireless gateway, so you have wireless within your home.
Already built in.
Already built in. So one single device that we support. So it's an overall great product. Like I said, we launched it just about 3 weeks ago. Already have close to 1,000 people on the platform, and people are just absolutely loving it.
Is it location specific?
We started here in Southern California. The vast majority of our customers are here in Southern California or Northern California, but this specific product is available across 21 states.
Wow.
So any AT&T state, we can provide this product.
What are the chances of getting somebody being able to get TrueStream and a landline?
If you'd like to keep your landline, you can definitely keep your landline from AT&T.
What if it's your landline?
You could have a Fusion service and a TrueStream service, but what I typically recommend is having the TrueStream service and then moving to a voice over IP offering. I think you'll save a lot of money doing that. So if you really want that voice line in your house, a voice over IP option, like a Broad Voice or a Vonage or an Ooma, there's all great options.
Yeah, but what if you still want a landline?
If you still want a landline, you could get a Fusion line and a TrueStream line into the house if you wanted, or you could keep your landline from AT&T as well.
We're going to have to try TrueStream. You know that.
I suppose so.
Oh, I suppose so.
You always want to go faster, right?
Yes, she does.
You went from you went 3 times faster. Let's take you 20 times faster.
Oh my!
Could we try it out?
Well, absolutely.
Put on your seatbelt.
Oh yeah. How about a life preserver? I think one of the things that helped me have the passion I've always had for your company is the way you treat customers, and this is truth, because my rule was if I didn't like the product and I didn't use the product, I wouldn't endorse it.
It's an important rule. It helps for both the company you're endorsing as well as yourself. You have to, the people listening have to stand behind what you're telling them.
The only thing I can offer is credibility.
Absolutely.
And your offices are located in They're in Southern California.
We're right here in the Valley. We're in Chatsworth.
And is that part of where your tech support is?
It is.
That's called local tech support. Do you know how sweet that is?
It's not in India.
Or someplace.
Yep. It's most of our support is done right here locally, and
which is something I've always bragged about.
Well, our customers love us for that.
George, it's an incredible story. It started with 2 guys.
two great guys I had the opportunity to work with, and were mentors for me, and have gone on to do some new things as well.
And they were in a different business, and they decided to try this, and they did all the right things. And you're a part of that story.
Two great entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? I think we've kind of covered
No,
it.
I think we've got it covered.
DSL Extreme. It's a company I trust. I know you do.
I trust it. Yeah.
And you can too. DSLExtreme.com, or you have a phone number.
866.
The number 2.
The number 2
Get net.
to get DSL Extreme.
How about that? 866. The number. Will you stay with us for a while?
Absolutely, I'd love to.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
All right. Let's move right on. That was a good
Thank
segment.
you.
We learned a lot. I'm real excited about that new product.
We are too.
Okay, I have a little something to add to in the news. It's Jib Jabs, like they've been around for a long time now.
Jib Jab.
Jib Jab. Do you know what
Okay.
Jib Jab is? It's
I
like their
did.
15th anniversary or something like that. And they have brought out some new products. For one thing, they have they'll have a thing that your kid can have a chat with Santa Claus.
Oh,
Should
there
be
you go.
interesting, and eventually the Easter Bunny. That's
Thumper?
interesting. Yeah, they just made that deal this last month, and they have a new thing called Jib Jab. Oh, Bonnie, don't I left my notes outside. Jib Jab messages,
Oh,
and you can send like 700 different animations to people.
how fun.
Yeah, and you can put all your own things to them, and it's a lot of fun.
That's great for the holidays.
Tis.
Yeah.
George, you have kids?
I have 2.
How old?
I've got a daughter that is 7 and a son that's 4.
You want to hear about this next story?
Let's hear it.
Maybe schools should start taking cell phones out of the classrooms. There's a new app for smartphones, and it's called Photo Math. What the kids do is they take a picture of a math problem that has equations and formulas. It solves the problem. See, you would
pretty
like
soon
that.
the kids
Tyler
will have
is
no
a recent
brains
college
at
graduate.
all.
I knew that would get you.
Why didn't I have that when I was in calculus?
So far, it can read basic arithmetic expressions like plus, minus, divided by, or multiply, plus roots, square roots, powers, linear expressions. Wow, where was that when I took chemistry? Holy mackerel.
Yeah,
Can
but
you
you
imagine?
would never learn those things, though, if you have it all on your phone.
That's right. That's the point.
Have you
Yeah.
used the app?
No.
So I took a brief look at it. It actually shows you the steps to solve the problem as well.
Right.
So if
It
you're
does,
having,
so
if you're
you
having
do
a problem,
learn from
But,
it.
yeah,
but you
could
don't
help
pay
step through it.
attention to that. You just
You
want
just go
the
right.
answer.
You go right to the answer.
Yeah, you
It's
just
free,
copy the
and
answer.
here's something odd, George. It's free and it's available for the iPhone and Windows Phone, but not Android till next year.
They must
That's
have they must have
crazy.
some kind of contract, exclusive
Yeah.
contracts.
You know, I know Windows is Microsoft's doing a lot of deals where they're paying developers to develop on their platform first. Apparently, it's
That's
working.
the only
Yeah,
way it gets done,
yeah,
George.
Apple makes deals with people the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you want your kids to have something like that?
You know, as maybe a parent, it might be a good idea if you get to a
It
question.
would be good for you as
Yeah.
a parent, so you could show your kids, oh, I solved that.
Right.
Looking over at the phone. while he's watching.
My wife doesn't need it, but I might.
She good at math?
She's good at everything.
Aw, it's so sweet.
Oh, very good. How did you meet her?
We met in college. We met up in the Bay Area at Santa Clara University.
Is she going to watch the show?
We'll see.
Well,
And
we
how
better
old are your
speak very
kids?
well of her.
Kids are 7 and 4.
7 and 4.
Oh, she's got her hands full.
She
huh?
does, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oof. Okay.
Okay. You have some good news from Target
Oh, Target offers free shipping for holiday online buys.
with no minimum price.
Apparently not. Online shopping has become increasingly more popular with the customers, so
Oh, yeah.
Target's decided to offer free shipping for the holiday season no matter what you spend.
Which is kind of new.
Yeah.
Normally, there's a floor. You have to spend so much.
Yeah. So the move challenges Amazon's claim to fame, which is fast and free shipping. And the latest example how the brick and mortar stores are changing the way they do business to counter the growing population of online popularity. Population.
Melatonin.
Too. Right. I took a melatonin with my vitamins by
By
mistake.
mistake.
So I'm having a
So I
little
have to
brain
keep
problem
tickling
here.
her to keep her awake.
No, the retail e-commerce market grew by 16.5%, to the 264.3 billion in
Last year,
in 2013. Compared to the 14.7% growth in 2012. So it's going in leaps and bounds.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this year it's going to be close to 16% increase.
Yeah.
I think people have finally accepted shopping online.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The convenience and the fact that a lot of if you're getting from Target or any of your major stores, you can return at the store.
Yeah, that's the ideal combination. Buy it online, return it at. You know what else we're seeing? If you go shopping, let's say you go to Best Buy and you want to buy something, you have the salesperson price match it online, and they'll match the price except for eBay. But they'll match Amazon and any other retailer right on the spot.
I believe Target's doing price matching as well.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Okay, well, so Walmart started offering free shipping on a select number of items during the 2010 holiday season, and so that's been going on for a while now. Okay, and offers free shipping for purchases greater than $50. And Best Buy offers for free shipping for purchases of more than $35. But the thing is that's not like Target.
No.
That's
No.
not.
And how long is that going to last?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
Through the 20th of December, actually.
And that can be
Yes.
significant because the shipping costs continue to rise, and those can be up to 30% of what you're spending online.
Yeah.
Wow, I never thought about it.
Does Target sell food?
Yes.
They do.
So if you bought a big watermelon that weighed like 12 pounds, you get it shipped free.
I don't know if they sell that online, but
Yeah,
Oh, well, I don't know.
I don't think so.
let's try it, Jeff.
Yeah, let's give it a try. The seedless watermelon, right?
Oh, but they also have a new wish list tool for its app. It's a similar tool that's touted on Amazon.
Right, the wish list.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You know, George, the Amazon brought out a phone called the Fire Phone. Remember we talked about that?
Yes.
And it was a $200 phone. Really, it wasn't so much about being a phone. It was about getting you access to buy things on Amazon.
Couldn't you just take a picture of anything you were interested in buying,
And
and
that-
it would
yeah.
tell you where to find it?
Yeah.
Just take a picture of the girl's outfit.
Well, the price of the $200 phone is now 99 cents.
Smart.
Yeah, they can't give it away.
They can't.
No.
They,
Yeah,
they,
but-
they did
but-
not
People
sell
saw
so many.
through that.
It's a very competitive space to be in, as even big players like Microsoft have seen. And,
Oh, yeah.
If you look at the Amazon earnings, they took a pretty big hit because they've ventured into too many things.
Yep.
And their costs have continued to rise.
All right. Well, here's a device you might find interesting. It's called the Smart Alert Nightlight. Okay, here's what it does. It's a company called Leo, L-E-E-O. It's a Smart Alert Nightlight for $100, $99. It plugs into the wall, and it's a nightlight, but it can detect when a smoke or carbon alarm,
Carbon
monoxide
detector.
Yeah, when your detector goes off, this thing alerts it, and then it sends alerts to an iPhone. That gets better. It's about the size and shape of a coaster. And like I say, it plugs into the wall. Once it hears an alarm, it uses a Wi-Fi connection to send notifications with an app running on the iPhone 4S or later. If there's no response, it calls your iPhone using Wi-Fi. It sends a call to your phone. If there's still no response, it will start contacting people who you've listed to call in case of an emergency.
So if you're at work or
Yep.
in a meeting and don't answer your phone, then somebody is going to get called, and
Yep.
they're going to
A
alert.
whole bunch of people, depending
Yeah,
on how many
yeah.
friends you have. It supports 16 million colors, and you can control it all from an app. It's $100. Pretty cool.
Nest was probably one of the biggest companies with their thermostat that got
Right.
started in this market of the Internet of Things. And I think we're going to see so many more things over the next.
You know who developed Nest?
I do not actually.
People that worked for Apple. Do you remember when Steve Jobs left Apple and started his own company?
Yep.
What was the name of the company? Next.
Next.
And this is Nest.
And I think they're
Coincidence?
And now they're owned by Google, correct?
Yeah, of course. Isn't
that
And
everybody?
I think they just bought another home automation company. I saw on my way over
Yeah,
here.
they buy all kinds of things.
But
but-
what's the key behind that? It's broadband. That's the need for broadband in your home and good connectivity. As more and more things come online and
Yep.
and become connected, whether it's a smartwatch or a Fitbit or a device that's tracking all of these tied to your broadband connection. That's the need for good broadband.
George, one of the reasons I left traditional, or as we call terrestrial radio, and came to internet radio, it's where it's all going.
Absolutely.
All the new cars are going to have it. 4G LTE in the car. You need to get a piece of that.
We're working on
Not surprising.
we're working on a mobile broadband product.
There you go.
today.
I would have figured that. Speaking of mobile, you want to talk about Ford?
The Ford C-Max solar energy, solar-powered concept car. Okay, Ford has developed a concept car that runs primarily on solar power, and it's a collaboration between Ford, SunPower Corporation, and the Georgia Institute of Technology.
Okay.
Okay, so Ford says that the C-Max solar energy concept will be powered by energy it's collecting from a special concentrator that acts like a magnifying glass. And the concentrator would take energy from sunlight and direct the intense rays to panels on the car's roof. Now, in theory, it would fully recharge itself without the vehicle having to be plugged into an electrical outlet. But Ford believes Sunshine could power up to 75% of all trips made in solar hybrid.
Nice.
Could you talk, please?
Let's see.
It's just too exciting.
Down here. No, it's just that melatonin.
It's been a tough week. She's had some issues with her dad.
Yeah.
The thing is that the solar-powered cars have been developed and driven around the world for years, but they look like little spindly race cars. External wheels that aren't covered, the little body. They look like soapbox derby cars.
Right.
And so, but now the challenge has been finding a way to harness enough solar energy to drive a real car that you drive every day. It's going to happen. What do you do on a cloudy day? Turn on a sunlight.
I guess maybe the battery backs it up or something.
And
Yeah,
I think
it'll be a
still,
combination.
There's still some UV rays that come through as well.
Yeah, that's true. George, do you drink espresso?
My wife does. I do not.
Well, there's a good gift idea here for you. It's called the Mini Presso. It makes espresso on the go. It's a cylinder, and it does everything that the regular ones do. It puts it under pressure, and you pump it up, and it makes espresso on the go.
How big is this? And do you pack it in your suitcase or
It's
what?
it's a semi-automatic piston that you pump by hand, and it's not all that. I'm trying to keep a straight face, and you're not helping. In a longitudinal reciprocating motion. Terrific. I'm in trouble. George will never come back. Anyway, it's the size of a thermos bottle, but small thermos bottle.
Okay. That's like a flask. Okay.
And it's going to be about, wait a minute. Here it is. Standard size is about 7 inches tall, weighs at 0.8 of a pound. And it can hold
2.35 ounces?
of water. Well, espressos are small.
Espressos.
cup
Yeah,
of
they are
coffee.
small.
Pre-order for $39 at Wakako. That figures, right? WACACO.com. Here's a good one. George, you like popcorn?
I love popcorn.
You make it yourself?
I do.
Isn't it terrible when some of the kernels don't fully pop?
And then they're in the bowl and they're all over the place. And
Well, there's a new popcorn bowl, and it eliminates the problem. It's got a grill at the bottom and a little trap, and all those unpopped kernels fall through the bottom. But the popped kernels don't because they're too big. Are we really talking about this?
Yes, but it's $75. That's a lot.
Well, no, it's a snob appeal
you
gift.
know what? We have a call.
Oh, bring it on.
Bring it on.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to need
we
the
have
headphones.
to put our headphones
Oh, George,
on.
grab your headphones.
We have to
All
put
right.
our headphones on.
Stay
Hold
with
on,
us,
Gary.
caller.
Okay.
Okay.
Left was right. We're coming. We're coming.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now
Hello,
we're here.
welcome
we
to
had
the
to put our
show, Patty.
headsets on.
Oh, thank you.
You're on the air. What can we do for you?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up something that's been happening a lot in the area where I live. There are scam calls going on again, and this is one that they announce on the phone as it comes in, and it verbally announces who's calling. It announces that it's the District of Columbia, and so you think it's coming from the government, and then it says that I happened to get the message, so I do know that what they said is that it was from the tax department, and someone had told the IRS that I had done tax fraud and that they were going to issue a bench warrant for me, and I needed to call right away so that we could work something out.
Whoa, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, and it's not. Apparently it's. Mine was on the phone, but it was on the answering machine, and of course, what I'm reading in the paper is when they get a hold of people, they just verbally batter them into fear, where they actually go out and buy prepaid debit cards and send it to them because they're afraid of being arrested.
Well, that's why they call it the Internal Robbery Service.
Yeah, well, in that case, maybe so. And they're doing it with other scams too, where they're doing telling people that they owe a fine for missing jury duty.
Oh yeah.
And they need to send that in.
Like, because everybody who puts it aside and forgets all about it.
Yep. They say that when there's a warrant for your arrest, I have to arrest you over the weekend, but if you send me the bail money, I'll let it go till you can get to court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and people, the sad thing is that they do stay on the phone and just harass people to a point where they're in fear. And I was fortunate because they left it on my answering machine, but I was shocked that they would leave the whole scam on an answering machine.
Well, to them, it's like a fishing expedition. Out of 100 people, maybe 5 or 10 people will fall for it.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
we're sure glad
you're smart
enough. Yeah,
well, of course she's smart. She's my sister.
Oh,
yeah.
Patty. Hello, Patty. That's
Hi.
Patty.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
very
me.
good. We'll give our best to Terry, and thank you for the call. That's a very important contribution. We like it.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Patty.
you, Patty.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
My best friend, Jim, I won't use his last name, his girlfriend's in-laws got a call that her son had been in a horrible car accident, and it happened because he was driving drunk, and that he doesn't have insurance and that they can't treat him without a credit card. Fortunately, they were smart enough to call my friend Jim, who called the kid who was at home.
That's terrible.
But
Yeah.
people do that when people post travel plans, like on Facebook. Somebody will try to contact their family and say, your relative is in Switzerland and has been hospitalized and has no money, and we can't treat him. We need a credit card. And people fall for it.
It's really sad.
It is. I think the two things that get you in trouble on the internet are greed and gullibility.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But as high-tech of a show as we are, we often do low-tech.
Well, before we do that, though, we should finish out on the popcorn bowl and let them know where they can get it if they want to get
Does
it.
somebody want to really spend $75
Well, somebody
for that?
might.
Where do you
if,
get
if
it?
you pop enough popcorn, you get it from uncommongoods.com.
That's a neat website. Uncommon Goods. They have some crazy things. All right, what do you got, low tech?
Okay, low tech. Okay, I'm the low tech. He's the high tech. I'm the low and no. Okay, this is kind of no.
But you look good doing it.
Thank you, Jeffy.
Oh, no.
I'll show you the high heels later.
Okay,
Yeah,
deal.
okay.
Deal.
Okay. All right. So first of all, for your refrigerator, aside from vacuuming underneath it, which people forget to do so that it works better and doesn't cost you a fortune, don't block the vents inside the refrigerator. There's we have a side-by-side at home, and there's a vent that comes from the bottom and the top that comes from the area near the freezer or from the freezer side, and it helps with the circulation of the air in the regular refrigerated side.
not know that.
So what happens is, like when we had my nephew and his family staying with us, they would shove bottles and things back over that vent, and then it's not circulating properly, and it's not pulling in and pulling out the right air to know what the temperature is in different areas.
Nice.
Okay? So don't
See, I'm
block
learning.
it. You know what I'm thinking of getting, like maybe one of those silverware baskets or something, or even one of those things that holds tomatoes or whatever it's all just plastic,
Right.
like what would you call it? Like a
A
grate,
plas-
like a
like a
grate,
grate?
like a
Grate,
grate,
right.
and putting that so that you can't push something against it.
There you go.
That would make
There's
sense.
low tech that works.
It's low tech. Okay. Now, the other thing is get a thermometer to test your refrigerator and your freezer, because a lot of times they're not that great, and get a decent one. and test at the different areas so you know what you're dealing with.
So that brings up an interesting point. Something that you put in a door shelf may not have the same cold temperature as something at the back of a shelf.
That's right, and yet, but you don't want to put stuff all the way to the back so it's blocking the air circulation back there too. So you have to
Who knew?
Yeah, you have to be careful. So, but things like condiments, the things you're going to store for a very long time, or perishables, you don't want to store on the door because you're opening it all the time, and the temperature changes all the time.
There you go. That's
All
where you
right.
keep the butter and
And
the
yet,
egg.
I always thought condiments, pickles, and stuff, oh, they'll keep forever. Well, they don't. Okay, so the
See,
next.
George, we're learning.
We're learning.
So, vacuum cleaner. If you vacuum, if you don't have a housekeeper, which I don't right now, you have to go slow. Really let that stuff suck up the dust that's down in the carpet, all that walked in dirt. Otherwise, you're getting all the little bits on the top, but you're not getting all that junk out of there that the dust mites love and that gets in, irritates your lungs and all of that.
So all the time I've been rushing through vacuuming, I shouldn't have.
You don't do that. You have a housekeeper. I had a housekeeper.
Yeah?
But
You will
she's-
again.
She won't come to my house. I'm too far.
Oh,
Okay.
where is she, Panama?
No, she's in Beverly Hills, and I'm in Pasadena now.
Oh.
I
you
used
were
to be in Beverly
yes,
Hills.
Gotcha.
Okay, the next thing is Laundry 101,
Oh,
especially
yes.
for you guys. Pre-spot your clothes, because if you don't get rid of the stain before it goes in the dryer, it's going to get set, and you're not going to get it out. So you be careful when you're using the spotting solutions, though, because a lot of guys wear khakis, and khakis don't take to spotting solutions well. It can remove
What is the
remove
spotting solution?
Shout, spray and wash. There's different kinds. There's even one from Shout, I think, that you can put in the on your laundry when you take it off when you see a spot, and leave it in the laundry bin for up to a week.
Well, I bet that smells a bit gamey.
What?
What?
No, the spot?
Yeah.
No.
Leaving it in the
No, I'm talking about like you get a little grease spot or something if you
Okay.
don't want it to set in the fabric.
All right.
Okay. So the thing is that what?
I'm good.
What?
No, I'm
Okay.
learning.
Don't put things in your closet after you wear them. Have a special place to hang the things you're going to
Why?
wear again, because you have acid in your skin and the acid gets into the fabric. And if you end up storing it for a season, it's going to eat away at the fabric. It's not good. So the last thing I want to cover is to avoid ironing. Those people that have to do their own laundry or go to the
Oh, this is
laundromat.
great.
Oh, yeah. What you want to do is I used to try to hang things as they were damp and pull the wrinkles out because I won't iron. But what you do is you just, as you take each thing out of the dryer, you make one big stack and you just keep smoothing each thing out and keep smoothing each thing out. Take 3 or 4 out at a time. Smooth it out into one big stack. Doesn't matter if it's a towel, a t-shirt, whatever. You stack it all, and then you can fold it over and take it to where you want to put it away or fold it or hang it or whatever, and it presses itself out.
Really?
You don't just bunch it all up and throw it in the hamper and take it back home.
That's what
I
I
knew
do.
I was doing something wrong.
It doesn't look good when
What's
you go
that,
to wear
Tyron?
it.
So that's what I do.
You do the same?
Yeah.
There you go. You've been listening to Bonnie.
I have a feeling my wife's going to make me do that this weekend.
I think so.
Hopefully,
Good
she didn't
report.
listen to that
Baby
last
clothes
segment.
towel. Baby clothes.
She'll report, Bonnie. She'll report back and let you know how I did.
There you go. So, George, is that it?
Yeah, I think
It's a
we got
great-
everything.
Great
We did
report.
everything.
I noticed you brought a laptop to
I
the
did.
studio. It's a Mac. Have you always been a Mac person?
You know, I have not always been a Mac person. I started with a Mac for the last, I started with the Apple with their iPhone.
Right.
I guess it's all Apple, and got into the ecosystem, and probably about a year ago bought the MacBook Pro.
Was it a hard transition from Windows?
Not terrible. I'd used a Mac here and there before, but not full time. Not terrible. That Windows still has certain things that it does a little bit better, specifically Office. So when I'm in the office, I still use a Windows PC. But when I'm out traveling around, I traditionally or typically use the Mac.
You're bi-coastal.
You gotta have products that work on all operating systems. You talked about the watch earlier for Microsoft and how it's going to work across all the platforms, and I think that's important for applications today to work across any device that you're on. So people have choice, and they may work on an Apple Mac at one point and move to a Windows machine or even a Google Chromebook.
Do you have tablets at home?
I do.
What do you have?
We've got iPads that
No big surprise.
that the kids use. I also have a Google Nexus device, and also have a Kindle Fire.
So yeah.
We
You know
we
what?
have them all.
Reminds me, we got a Kindle Reader,
For my
Kindle
dad.
HD, for her 91-year-old
But
dad.
what's your youngest child now?
4.
Because we saw that Leapfrog, and it was great, too. They could
Oh,
throw
you
it
should
across
look
the
into
room
that.
and not hurt it.
We've got an iPad for the youngest. He absolutely loves it, and we've got a case that goes around it, and it encloses. It's like a kind of a rubber case. It closes. He can throw it. And,
Oh, okay,
and,
so
and
like
it, and
the
it's absolutely
Leapfrog
fine.
has.
So it's
Okay,
like
yeah,
that.
the Leap
Good.
Pad. We
Leap
saw that
Pad,
at a
yeah.
gaming
Yeah.
expo. The demonstration was he threw it up to the ceiling, comes crashing down, and it doesn't break.
Yeah, and I think they give you a 2-year warranty on that. They say they'll replace it for any reason. So it breaks, they'll give you a brand new one, no cost to you.
You met Dr. Belzik, who's our partner on the medical show.
I did.
His partner, Dr. Rogers, showed me a video of Rogers' daughter at 18 months. She was barely able to stand without holding onto the sofa, but with the other hand, she was playing Elmo on an iPad.
You know, my son from a very young age used an iPad. My son's autistic, and his there's many applications that are specifically made for children with autism.
We need
and
to do a report on that.
and he communicates.
great.
He can communicate and get around, and he can't. He's not vocal yet, so he doesn't speak. But the things he can do on the iPad are just amazing.
We definitely want to do a story on that. That's
yeah,
great.
Absolutely, it's just amazing.
Now, Bonnie, you use an iPad literally all the time. You
Oh,
could,
yeah.
You could be
I mean,
watching
looking up
television.
this,
You want to
looking up
look.
that,
Yeah,
but-
it's
yeah.
become a coffee table accessory, among other things.
It's I guess even when you're watching TV, it's this the second screen. It's kind of big where people are always doing something else. They're watching, and that may be what they're primarily doing, but they're looking things up online or shopping, checking their mail.
And for checking email, it's the best.
Oh,
It's
It
the
really
best.
is. I remember Steve Jobs adamantly saying Apple will never make a 7-inch tablet. Well, they never did. It's almost 8 inches. And the 12.5-inch iPad Pro will be out next year. I have that on very good authority.
Yeah, they've done. Tim's done a lot of things that Steve said he wouldn't do, and they're doing very well now. And I think he's done a lot of good things, especially with the new iPhone 6, the iPhone 6 Plus, which is a lot bigger than they thought they would ever make.
Well, the iPhone 6 is the screen is 4.7 inches diagonally, and the Plus is 5.5 inches.
5.5 inches.
Samsung makes one called the Mega. It's 6.3 inches. Can you imagine feeling like you have a cinder block to your ear?
Even the Plus for me was too big. I felt like the 4.7 inch was kind of the right size for a phone.
Do you carry it in your pocket?
I do.
Do you hear the stories about them bending?
Bendgate.
Yeah, have you heard
That's
it?
what they call it. I
Do you
think
have
there
a
was.
case on yours or
I
something?
have a case, but I
wouldn't-
think it was the iPhone 6 Plus. I think there was 16 reported instances out
Yeah.
of the
Millions and
20
millions
plus
of
million
phones.
that they've sold. So I think it was more hyped by the
By the
bloggers,
press.
the tech bloggers out there that wanted to some press on it.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
We want to thank you for joining us, and we want to give the phone number again and the website for DSL Extreme.
DSLextreme.com and 866-2GET-NET.
You've had that phone number all through.
We have.
It's a great phone number. We might be able to try that TrueStream. That would be incredible.
That would be incredible.
Well, I don't want to put
Are
you
you
on the
gonna
spot.
try
but
it?
Yeah,
Are you gonna
absolutely.
try
I might have to.
Ah.
Yeah, I might have to. I mean, that's some serious speed.
Absolutely, and as long as you report back.
Oh, we'll invite you back. How about we report with you on the show?
Absolutely, love to come.
Thanks for
anytime.
joining us, George.
Thank you.
And we're going to be replaying the audio of these shows, the video shows, on our old time slot, Fridays at 5 p.m.
5 p.m. for
But the nice thing about the
the
5
tech
p.m.
show.
Right, and 7 p.m. for the medical show. But the beauty of it is after these shows are streamed, you just go on to latalkradio.com and you can play them. Oh, yes, you can go to YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, this episode will be on YouTube, George.
Yeah,
The
you
way
go to you type in latalkradio.com with a space and then the name of the show you want
which
to
is Turn
see.
On to Tech. And you'll be able to load it up, and it's fast. And we owe it all to our fearless leader, Sam, who's in the control booth over there. Hi, Sam. Thanks for joining us. And George, thanks for joining us. We'll have you back again.
Absolutely. Thanks for
We'll
having
catch
me.
you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Turn On to Tech with Jeff Levy and Bonnie Jane Bentley right here on LA Talk Radio.